Good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Vitruveo Download. Mike, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm as fine as I can be. It's going to be another scorcher of a day here, but hey, it's better than freezing cold and ice
Yes,
snow.
this is
So
true.
I'll take that. Uh, Lots of folks on here already. Let's see. We got a lot of familiar faces, etc. And yes, everyone, thank you so much. It is my birthday.
It's your
Oh, I
birthday.
appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I orchestrated this 1 year ago to make it so that this download came exactly on my birthday. No, I'm just kidding. It just happened to be that way. Yeah, it's fun. So
People
thank
are
you. Thank
people
you,
are
everyone.
wishing me happy birthday, but it's not my birthday. It's your birthday. I don't want to steal your day.
But this. Look here, Mike is
Barry.
so handsome. Love that. Love that. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Venus. Thank you, Tom, Dolores, Dad bod. I can't keep up with the names, but thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. I haven't even gone on my X yet because I looked at my notifications this morning. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna. I need to prepare for this, so I'm not gonna venture there. But I will. I thank everyone from the bottom of my heart, and I will post some messages around that. So, Mike, what are we doing here today? We have a lot of great
We got a lot to
information.
go over. A lot to go over. It's crazy. You and I have had a crazy week. Um, I can't even add up how many hours of meetings we've had and all the different content that we've gone through. It's been a heck of a week, but I'm excited. I'm so excited
I know how
to
we can measure it. We've met so much that your Zoom burned out and doesn't work anymore. So we have to switch to Google Meet.
it gave up.
Yeah, but you know what?
Yeah.
This is good. This is, as we'll see later today, this is we've hit an inflection point. It's time for us to grow, and
Yeah.
uh, some really really good things, milestones achieved, and it's time to move on. So I think with that, let's just get going. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's bring this thing on here, and here we go. All right, everyone, welcome to Vitruveo Download. This is season 4, episode 4. It is July 26th, 2024. It is my
Mhm.
birthday, so happy birthday to me, and thanks to everyone who's wishing me. This is the download where we review the week that was past, what we achieved, and then we review some of our goals going forward. Today, we are going to actually go even more into the future than just a week ahead. We have a lot of plans, etc. We would like to talk about. So we'll just dive into that right away. So first and foremost, our big event for the prior week was on July 23rd, right as scheduled. We did launch the Rep Vitru token on our DEX at swap.vitruveo.xyz. So let's talk a little bit about the launch. Mike, what were your thoughts on the launch?
The launch actually went better than I thought it was. I thought we were going to hit a little more hiccups, but actually, it went great. I think there were, a little bit of, we had to get comfortable with and keep an eye on things, but overall, I think it went great.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to step back and look at the journey that got us here. We've been in talks with several centralized exchanges, and all of them actually always start with the question, "So how's it doing on your DEX?" And we're like, "Well, we didn't kind of launch it yet on our DEX, etc." So
Hmm.
after having encountered this a few times, we decided, okay, well, it's taking a lot of time to be on a DEX. It also costs a lot of money because your listing fees are quite high, so we need to just pull the trigger on this and go for it. And so we did that. We announced that, I think, 4 downloads ago, and since then we've been ramping up for this. We've got everything in place, and we launched it on our decks now. Although I don't have it on the slide, I'll just let everyone know that we are running our decks using Pancake Swap 2. We know that there's a lot of cool features in subsequent versions of the pancake swap. So it is our goal to, as expediently and efficiently as possible, get a new version of pancake swap running on our decks. And as is typical for dexes, you don't shut down one dex and or upgrade it. what you do is you keep it running. So the existing one will keep running as like V1, and we'll just have a separate one, because you don't want to move liquidity around and all that. That's just a nightmare. So it is our goal to update. But let's talk about what we think is a very innovative feature here, which is our circuit breaker. So what was the need for the circuit breaker? Well, I think Mike expresses it best in terms of our coin debt. So Mike, why don't you talk a little bit about that, and then I'll go back into the circuit breaker details.
Yeah. So obviously this, our project had humble beginnings where we had a huge community that was brought into Nick's vision. That project subsequently, went a different direction, but all the investors were kind of left with, okay, what now? Nick came up with the vision of Vitruveo, took over the project. But we had all of these coins that were from the previous project that we really didn't know what to do with. So typically when you launch, let's say a blockchain, you would have let's say a pre-sale or a soft launch, so to speak. You at a discounted price, investors come in, bring in money. That price starts to increase, and then on the launch day, you would launch at a certain price. But the chain really doesn't have any debt. That really is kind of the fundraising. For us, it was a little bit different. We came in with a certain token allocation, and that represents debt to the chain. And so if we launch, because the liquidity was basically non-existent, so that's why it's a debt. So come launch day, in our case, when we launch the DEX, we have all of these liquid Vitru and some staked that we have to deal with. And if we were just to open up the DEX to live trading, it would completely obliterate our liquidity, and we'd have no money in terms of our funding. So our plan was to institute a circuit breaker into the DEX, which is, frustrating if you want to trade. We get that, but it is by design. It is its sole purpose is to protect the liquidity, but to get some trading volume, to allow some people to take profit at the same time. We really want to protect the price, protect liquidity, protect the chain until we have more revenue coming in, until we launch on, let's say, DEX tools, and then obviously, after that, the SEX. So that was kind of the idea. It's a temporary restraint that we put on trading. It is not supposed to be punitive. So please understand that. We're not trying to penalize anybody. It's not a cash grab. It's not any of that. All it is price stability and price stabilization. We don't want to have the price go down to a penny and then nobody wins, the blockchain closes, and that doesn't make anybody money. The best strategy is to protect price, limit trading. The analogy that I gave on Discord was that we're launching a blockchain, which is different than a token. So much different. With a meme token or something like that, it's a heavily traded token. So you kind of try to get in early, it pumps, and then you try to dump before the J curve and everything crashes. So blockchains are a little bit different. I posted a chart, I think I pinned it. But if you look at the historical pricing of most blockchains, they launch with very humble pricing. They come in at 30 cents. They come in at $2. I think AVAX was around $2. ETH came in at 31 cents. And the strategy for investing into a blockchain is a buy and hold, where when the price dips down, you accumulate more coins, and then it goes up from there. So we're going to have to kind of do a little bit of training in terms of our mentality on how we approach Vitruveo, because we come from, the previous project was really a token. But now that we've become a blockchain, we just really need to strategize and rethink the trading aspect of it because of the liquidity concerns. So that was the initial idea behind the circuit breaker, and it's worked. It's worked great. Obviously, we want to get it off eventually, but that was the purpose of it.
Yeah, thanks for that explanation. The circuit breaker is kind of like envision it. I had a price of $1 in mind. Like how can the math work out? So everything about the math has been engineered to hover around that. And there's really two levels there. There is an aggregate level which impacts everybody. So there's a total limit per epoch. An epoch in our case is 1 day, and it's 17,280 blocks. And then there are per user cool off periods. So you wrap, then you have a certain cool off period. And we've wired that up to the price. So as the price goes higher, the restrictions ease. As the price goes lower, the restrictions get more. So we're going to keep this as Mike said for a bit, because we want to ensure that we have a steady state on the price, and we don't have crazy crashes, which yeah, they're no good for anybody, right? We want this blockchain to be enormously successful beyond your wildest dreams, and in order to do that, we have to manage the price here. So that's it on Wrap Vitru. We'll keep monitoring the price and make sure that we give options for folks beyond having to sell it. Like that's where I think the value proposition we can bring is to give you ability to have more income, but without having to sell your Vitru. So that's where we are focused on. All right, let's continue on that vein and talk a little bit about VUSD. So VUSD is a substitute for collector credit that is used to buy artworks right now on there. And the launch of the VUSD was slightly delayed because we got the DEX in place, and we had a sort of hard-coded value of $2.50 for the VUSD to Vitru swap. But we wanted to make sure that the income that artists receive, because what happens is when someone buys an artwork with VUSD, the conversion rate is used for determining how much Vitru the artist is paid, and we wanted that to be as realistic as possible. And so what we are working right now is on real-time price conversion from the DAX. So that is a last-minute feature that did not intend to add, but has been added now. And we intend for VUSD to be collateralized by about 1.5x. So it is always going to be 1.5x. So this will take care of price fluctuations and ensure that VUSD is always collateralized. So it looks like we are on track with this price conversion to get it done probably no later than Monday. So it was supposed to be last week, and this price conversion feature added a little more time to it, but we're on track now to do this there. So expect to have a small period of time where we will freeze sales. And when I say small period, I'm talking about an hour or something like that. We will freeze the collector credit contract. We will airdrop the VUSD, and that's going to 3 categories of folks. 1, everyone who has collector credit. 2, everyone who's lost a collector credit because the artwork they purchased was blocked. So that's basically reimbursement. And the 3rd category is everyone who has a Vortex. In sync with this, we will also do a catch up on the Vortex Vibe airdrop. So if you have a Vibe coming to you by way of a Vortex purchase, that's also going to be taken care of in this airdrop. So we will then be fully caught up on all conversions. We will reopen the store, and we will not reactivate collector credits. That's going to be paused forever. So we never surface collector credits as sort of a token in anyone's, or encourage anyone to do that anyway. So I think it should be a non-event for most people. But VUSD can show up in your wallet just like any other token, which is cool, right? So you can add it to your MetaMask, and then you have a number right there, and you can see it go up or down. And we no longer have the units of 10 that collector credits had a limit. And so the artwork prices can be as high or as low and as granular as needed, and it'll all work out. So that's the scoop on VUSD. Let's move on. Our next topic is organization update, and for that we go on to Mike.
Okay, so obviously we had a little bit of a realignment recently. I joined Nick maybe about 2 weeks ago, or is it 3 weeks now? I can't quite remember. But I was an investor, obviously, in the community, and I've been with the community since day one, and was noticing that there was a lot of communication issues, within Discord and getting updates. So I reached out to Nick and really started to wanting to help out and get involved. I have an executive past in terms of sales and marketing, and I've run companies, and so I just said, Nick, I want to help out. So we kind of started our, partnership and in friendship in the sense of, trying to make Vitruveo successful. We started doing, at that same time, there were some changes, organizational changes going on, within Vitruveo, kind of a realignment with certain positions that were kind of, how would you put it, Nick? Just, there were maybe 3 or 4 people that were working on other things, and there was this transition where they were not going to be a part of Vitruveo anymore. So it opened up some doors. We did. I started working with Nick, getting more involved, and then we did kind of like a SWOT analysis where we're looking at our strengths, we're looking at our weaknesses, opportunities where we need to grow as a team and as a company, and then what are the perceived threats that are going to get in the way of us being successful. So we did see that we did need to realign and fix a lot of things, and we also took a look at things like the Senate, the DAO structure, all of that. Validator team was perfectly fine. There were no issues there. It was just a matter of getting everybody on board. But the overall team was reduced due to attrition and austerity. So we produced a kind of a new org chart. So we want to kind of explain everything to you, and we'll kind of dive into this. So the core team has been realigned. I'm going to have to make this a little bit bigger, Nick. Hold on one second. There we go. Okay, so the core team now is going to be Nick, me, and Adrian. Nick is obviously the founder and CEO of Vitruveo. This is his baby, his passion, his brainchild, but he's also the acting CTO. Within his vertical is the Vitruveo technology. So he's going to be working on the protocol, the development, the DApp development, among 1,500 other things. But that's, kind of the main bucket. And then there's certain verticals that are under his care. Obviously Nick does a lot of the coding in order to, protect liquidity and work on the finances. Nick's really take on that charge to develop a lot of the smart contracts and a lot of the dApps. So it's great to have an internal developer when you're building a blockchain. We obviously have a team in Brazil, and they are developing a lot to do with search and studio, and all of those components. So Nick oversees them. And then we have Baron, who leads the validator team. And within the validator team, under his direction is the VTech team. So we have Reddy, Nathan B, Cappy, and then Esso is a mod, but he also really does help out a lot with VTech. So he wears quite a few hats. If I missed anybody in this organization chart, please forgive me. Just send me a DM and we'll get you added. That certainly wasn't intentional, but we had to get this out as quickly as possible. In terms of my role, I'm going to act as the COO and the CFO. I'm going to oversee all of the ecosystem and operations for the chain. I'm also going to oversee Vortex World and do that game development. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm going to explore different partnerships that the chain can go after in terms of, bringing in, whether it's creator partnerships, whether it's investor partnerships. We're going to explore everything. And so we've got kind of a cool plan for that. Budgeting, I'm going to, go through the books, and we're going to determine a 90-day budget, and that's going to turn into a 180-day budget to make sure that we have adequate funding, to make sure that we're spending the money wisely and all the money is going to the right places. So I'll be doing an audit of that. We're going to do an ecosystem roadmap. So the roadmap that we have on the website is very technical. We're going to have an internal roadmap and an external roadmap. The external roadmap is really going to be what are the wildly important goals for investors and creators. And so I'm going to redo that. I'm in the process of it. I wanted to have it done today, but there just wasn't enough time because we had to work on some other things. But we are going to redo the roadmap. And then we're also going to have a technical roadmap, which is really for the devs and to stay focused. So look for that coming pretty soon. I'm also going to oversee investor verticals. So anything having to do with the investors with the chain, I'm going to oversee that, as well as the creator verticals. So anything having to do with onboarding and just making sure that the creators are taken care of, as well as understanding really the chain. We have a lot of different, the problem with the chain that we had set up is it's a very complex ecosystem. It's not just a token or anything like that. And there's a lot of complexity. And I want to kind of simplify the messaging externally so that both creators, investors, and new adopters of our technology easily understand the ecosystem, as well as investors, or creators whenever they're coming on board. Crypto can be a new thing, and it can be very intimidating, and a lot of mistakes and frustrations can happen as a result of that. So I'm going to try to simplify that communication, and we've got a new website that we're going to be expanding on specifically for creator onboarding, and so I'll be taking over that. And then competitor analysis, we're really going to find out what our value proposition is relative to, let's say, a traditional NFT marketplace like Blur or OpenSea or some of our other competitors. There are a lot of companies that are going out of business right now, which creates a huge opportunity for us to capitalize on that market share. I've had a chance to start that research, and what we're building is so superior to what's out there. It's really mind-blowing. If I was to kind of show you and take you down that rabbit hole, it's really incredible. I've actually had the pleasure of joining Nick on the X Spaces, which are kind of like the AMAs for creators. And the feedback that we get from creators whenever they see our ecosystem is mind blowing. They are so enthusiastic. They are so excited to get this thing up and rolling, and we just can't get them onboarded fast enough. So the onboarding process, we're going to try to simplify that. We're going to, without foregoing KYC and those sort of processes, because those are important, but we are definitely going to address that. And then we are going to revamp the Senate and the DAO model. So I'm in talks with Nick to kind of restructure that. And so we've got some really good ideas to, make that happen. And then the last thing is the multi-sig. So I'll be on the multi-sig, Nick will, and then Adrian. Under my verticals specifically, I'm going to run operations for the entire ecosystem. The community, I kind of want to dive into this a little bit. We'd like to announce that Arco and Didi are going to be the new community managers. So they've done such a stand-up job in so many ways, and along with so many other of the community members. But we really wanted to recognize their work and really lift them up because they've done such a great job. SO, Biz, and Arco were the main mods, but Arco is going to take the community manager, and Didi is also going to take the community manager role. We're having two community managers, obviously, because there's scheduling. We're a worldwide organization, so we have different time zones, and we want to make sure that we have adequate coverage. So hopefully that will take care of that. We are going to change the mod roles as well. We're going to do L1 and L2 mods. L1 mods are really, you could call them junior mods. They're really going to have a supportive role for L2 mods. So when things get backdated, they're going to be able to support the mods with that role. In terms of our creator vertical, we have a new creator lead who is going to be kind of overseeing the creators and partnering with us. We're going to be working with her and giving her direction next week. And her name is Pam Both. We're excited to introduce her to everybody. But she's going to be really working to support the creators and that space. We also have positions open right now for Telegram mods. So if you are a creator and you're in the Telegram group with Dreamverse, definitely let us know if you're interested in participating. Arco is a part of that creator onboarding. So he has a multitask role. He's doing a lot. And then we have what are called brand ambassadors. And brand ambassadors are creators that are part of our ecosystem that have an influential part on social media. They also are multilingual, or they speak a specific language where we really want to make sure that our messaging is clear. So if you're interested in being a brand ambassador, reach out to Nick or myself, and we will definitely explore that. And then the last thing that I'm going to be focusing on is Vortex World. So Vortex World is going to be, actually, you know what? I'll save that. I'll save that for the later slide. The last core team member is Adrian, and many of you know Adrian through ePlays. He's an amazing entrepreneur. He's the co-founder as well as acting CMO for Vitruveo. And he's going to be handling protocol websites, VCs, Gitbook updates, social media, PR, press releases, influencer contacts, as well as the Honcho marketplace. And then he's on the multi-sig. So under his direction.
Sorry, Mike, to interrupt. Yeah. Honcho Launchpad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Honcho Launchpad is what I meant to say. Thank you. Obviously, he has a company called ePlays, and has been. He's one of the reasons why Vitruveo is here, and he's probably the reason why I think Nick is here. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So we owe a lot of gratitude to Adrian for his role in developing, or at least the starting points of taking care of us, as well as building out a lot of the tools that we use. And he doesn't get recognized enough. So I at least wanted to recognize all the efforts that he's put in. We've received a lot of funding through his efforts, and we definitely are grateful for his contribution that he's done. Zach is under his employment, and I spelled his name wrong. I'm so sorry, Zach, if you're watching. I know it's ZAC, but that's Aussie Zach. And obviously he's going to be overseeing the market maker as well as the Honcho Launchpad. So that's that.
All right.
Okay. I just wanted to kind of clear up Discord a little bit and some of the changes that we're going to be, implementing. Arco and Didi, as I mentioned before, are going to be the community managers. And the way we want to kind of think through this is the ticket system, the former legacy ticket system that we had, is no longer going to be implemented. It became backlogged. It became too convoluted. All the mods were going crazy with it. So we just decided to phase it out until we have maybe a Zendesk or another solution that we're looking at. In the meantime, all requests are directed to the community managers. So if you have support issues, if you have questions, if you have ideas, definitely ping Arco and Didi first. Try not to inundate requests to the other mods or to Nick or me. Where things are really speeding up, and a lot of people are wearing a lot of hats, and we want to make sure that we give you the right support and the best support that we can. And the way to do that is really going to be direct your requests directly to Arco and Didi. The CMs, in terms of the chain of command or how that request is handled, the CMs are going to solve the issue directly. Both Arco and Didi are more than competent to handle most troubleshooting issues. Both of them are really, really smart guys, and they work really hard, and they've devoted so much effort to this chain, and we're super grateful for them. So they can solve a lot of the questions. If they can't, then they'll direct it to an L2 mod or one of us in terms of the admins. The L1s are really going to be supporting the L2s. So they're going to be, keeping an eye on things, just helping the community overall. You'll see these updates in Discord later on today in terms of, the the role updates. So those will be updated later today. I did want to say we really wanted a new tide is turning here, and we're really getting to the point where we're getting closer and closer to launch in the sense of being on a chain and on a major sex. And I really want to encourage people just to keep it professional. I know we love to play around. We love to, kind of tease each other and roast each other and gang up on people. But I really want to just encourage everybody to keep it professional. If you want to vent to the community manager through a DM. Try to keep Discord clean and positive. It doesn't, it never helps the community when we're just venting frustrations and gripes and that sort of thing, because it just takes us down a kind of a negative role. So if you do have any events or if you want to gripe, just take it to the DMs and make your complaint, or I'm sorry, to the CMs, make your complaint there. We want to hear your voice. One thing I've really tried to change in Discord is everybody's voice gets heard. I don't care if you don't deliver it the right way. I don't care if you're yelling or screaming or going off. I want to hear that feedback, because I know at the root of that is someone that cares about the chain. And yeah, your delivery may not be the best, but it doesn't negate your concern. So we really just want to keep things positive and productive, I guess, is kind of the better role. We also have some kind of cool things coming down the road for those people that really do want to provide additional ideas and support. Some people have really volunteered to help the chain. We have so many people in tech that we want to leverage your skill sets and your energy into developing this, and we really do need all hands on deck right now. So if you do have a skill set, if you do want to contribute in some way to the chain, the success of the chain, we would love to have some of your expertise and some of your input. And if we have a value or a need in a certain area, definitely communicate that with the community manager, and that will trickle up to us. And then we'll be able to reach out to you directly and solve some of those issues. At least get the chain launched faster. That's kind of our goal. But that's it for that.
Yeah, I would be very happy to finally retire the phrase "when launch," because that's done. We've finished. This was the goal for the first year. We've launched everything that we had committed to launching, and now what's going to happen is growth, right? So I think that should be like a fundamental piece. This is great, really well organized, really fantastic to have all these amazing folks, especially Arco, Didi, who have been tirelessly working all the time, and that's just phenomenal. All right, let's continue here. We have a lot to talk about. Mike, if I may ask you, there's been a lot of questions, etc. So while I'm presenting the next part, which you're familiar with, if you wouldn't mind starring some of them so that we can get to them later and answer them, I would appreciate that. All right.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about Vibe staking and where we are. So this has been a huge success. When I last looked, there were over 4.3 million Vitru staked. And of the 350,000 that we had allocated, Vibe allocated, only 63,000 are remaining. That's a huge success. And thanks everyone for stepping up and making that happen. As you know, Vibe is all about income, and you're already seeing that. We wired up the income first, and then we offered the staking, so that as soon as you have your Vibe, you can go in there and start claiming your income. Now remember, it's kind of small right now, but we are growing, and we'll get there. And this is kind of the running thread. The simple message is you should be active in the Vitruveo ecosystem right now for the long term. If you are looking to cash out now, this is not the place for you. You should wait. You should wait 60, 90 days or whatever. We are not yet ready for the scenario where you earn income and you cash out. That is not Vitruveo right now. This is still a project in its infancy. We are growing and we are maturing, and we will get there. But I encourage everyone who's in here to keep that context in mind. So if you calibrate your expectations, you will be you'll find that there's lots of opportunities for you for long-term growth. But in terms of short-term, real-time income right now, it's too volatile. We just introduced, the coin on the DEX, etc. So I would encourage everyone to think long-term and think about revenue sharing. Vibe is something very unique that we are bringing. No other L1 blockchain gives you revenue sharing. None. This is unique and different. Think about if you had gotten in on day one on Ethereum and were able to get revenue sharing. What would that look like, 10 years later? Well, that's you have the opportunity to get in on the ground floor on revenue sharing for an L1 protocol. What that means, it's not just art sales, it's revenue we make from everything. You're going to have a share of that. All right. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about your staking choices. It's important that I reiterate some of this because not everyone, is aware all the time of what are the available options. So you fundamentally have two options in our ecosystem. You can stake for APR. You can go to airdrop.xyz/OTC/stake, and you can stake for interest, essentially, for anywhere from 60 to 180 days. And we're going to increase that period also. So there'll be some more options available there soon. But right now, that's if you want to stake for any period less than 1 year, then that's the option you go. You just get more Vitru, and it's a great way. Now, having said that, just remember, I encourage everyone to go stake right now because, as I said, the coin is going to be volatile for a bit. It is not going to behoove you to participate in any action that way. Your best bet is to think about staking because that pretty much assures you're going to have more. And by the time we are stable, your stake is perhaps period is done, and then you can start playing the market and things like that. So that's what the APR staking is for. But I really encourage everyone to stake for Vibe. There's about still about 60K left, and probably by the end of this session there will be none left. But you still have a chance. You can go to scope.xyz/stake, and we have the ability for you to stake both locked and unlocked Vitru. So you have Vitru staying in your wallet that's unlocked. You can stake that. You have Vitru committed to you via vesting. You can stake that as well. So those are your two main staking options. All right. Now, let's look at airdrop stakes to Vibe. This is something you asked for, and we delivered. Let me just take care of a couple of things here. All right. Needed to do some housekeeping in the comments. All right. So we have mulled this over. We have looked at the numbers and we have analyzed everything, and we have come up with a plan for you. So we have approximately 2 million Vitru sitting in the airdrop staking campaign right now. And people have been saying that, hey, we want Vibe. We want to go for Vibe. So here's the program. So you can stake for Vibe. There's going to be a 3-year option and a 5-year option. You can choose. It's going to be 150 Vitru. And if you choose the 3-year option, you get 3 Vibe. And if you choose the 5-year option, you get 5 Vibe. All right. And so that's the stake. If you choose to swap, it's a 20-to-1. So for 20 Vitru, you can have 1 Vibe. So this, because of the way the staking contract is set up, it's going to take us a couple of weeks to get to the point where we can actually have this functional. So, but we are allocating the Vibe. We expect, Mike, was it 50% our expectation on the conversion rate on that?
Yeah, we're just guessing though.
Yeah, we don't know.
It could be 75%, but based on the last participation, 50% seems as good enough guess as I think we can come up with.
Yes. Yeah. So, but this, you asked for it, and here it is. We've hinted that this is coming, and I'm absolutely happy to announce this program and give you access to it. So hopefully it satisfies all of you who are in the airdrop staking program who want Vibe. So, all right. And now I'm very, very pleased to announce some new equity pools. We wanted to give everyone the option to participate in Vibe. And so as a result, we have developed some new equity pools. Let's go. The first one is a general Vibe equity pool. It consists of 40,000 Vibe. Anyone can participate in the pool with any amount of Vitru. Join anytime, now or future. We're going to have more instructions. This is just the announcement. We don't have it live yet. The way it works is very simple. We're going to put 40,000 Vibe into a contract. Anyone who wants to can buy into that by sending their Vitru to that contract. So you are essentially putting your Vitru in there. It's not a stake. You won't get your Vitru back. But when you do that, it can be any amount. It can be 1 Vitru. It can be 10 Vitru. It can be 100 Vitru. you are now eligible for a pro rata share of the revenue earned from that 40,000 vibe. So a good way to think about this is like stocks, right? Like you have a share, and whatever the earnings are, it's divided equally among all the shareholders. That's basically what this is. So if there are 100,000 Vitru that people deposited in there, then that 40,000 vibe is divided equally among that 100,000 Vitru. All right. So this makes it super, super easy for you to take your small amounts of Vitru that you may not want to stake, and put it in there. And again, you can join anytime, now or future. It's an open pool. It's basically going to be available indefinitely. Anyone can deposit Vitru, no constraints there. So that's the general Vibe equity pool. The next one, and I'm really excited about this one, is the Creator Vibe equity pool. So this is another 40,000 Vibe, and it is only available for creators. So in order to participate, you must have a Vitruveo vault. All right, a Vitruveo vault is a smart contract that is automatically created for you. For every creator, you have one when you first consign your artwork. When you consign and you're approved by moderators, a Vitruveo vault is automatically created for you. So if you have a Vitruveo vault, you are eligible to participate in the Creator Vibe equity pool. So what this means is, and really, both of these pools are the lens, the focus is far-reaching, because we know that we're going to run out of Vibe here shortly, right? But what about creators who come in the future? What about people who come into our ecosystem in the future? We wanted to give them an opportunity to participate in the revenue sharing also, and that's what these pools are for. They are equity pools, and so they are future looking. So whether you deposit Vitru into the pool now or you deposit into the future, you will earn a share. All right, so that's two pools, general and creator. Expect more information on this. This is just our initial announcement. Don't go into the Discord and say, how do I put money into the equity pool right now? You cannot. It is to be implemented. This is just the announcement of the program. All right. All right. Let's move on then and go on to the next thing, which is our dormant wallet claim. Mike, talk a little bit about what is a dormant wallet and why we want to even talk about it here in the next few minutes.
Yeah, so whenever we were kind of looking through the numbers of the staking, we were trying to calculate how much Vibe we have available based on total locked and liquid supply plus the APR staking. We were trying to figure it out. So we did a number of formulas and estimates and put it all together. And we did a little bit of polling because we just kind of wanted to, see what you guys think and what you guys were planning on doing. And the data just wasn't adding up. And, so I kind of threw in some estimates, and I was pretty close to the estimates, but the data still wasn't that accurate. And the second round that we did, I started to see the issue was inactive wallets. So Nick and I used to, we went into the data, started looking at the token allocation, started looking at wallet sizes, started looking at a lot of things, and it really opened our eyes to how many users in our community are active and how many are inactive. And to give you an example, I've got 3 friends that are in Vitruveo that are not actively tracking their investment. And these are large holders. These are not, small, 10 Vitru holders. These are big holders. And so it was kind of shocking. And then Nick and I talked about it, and I said, look, we had, I think, somewhere around 5 million, 6 million in liquid Vitru that was either not claimed or in wallets. And then when we did the Vibe staking, we only brought that number down maybe 1 million, which didn't quite make sense. So we ran some more reports and found out that we actually have a lot of abandoned wallets or abandoned claims where people, I shouldn't say abandoned wallets, it's really abandoned claims where money is just sitting to be claimed. And the problem is that this poses a huge liability for you as the investor once we get listed on a DEX or SEX, because we have all this outstanding Vitru that could be dumped by people that are just not using or keeping updated with the protocol. So, did you want to go into the details, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through them next, but I just wanted to
Yeah,
wanted you to give people context about what it was. So now we
yeah,
can talk about the actual program. So what we want to do is essentially make it so that we don't have to count these numbers again and again and again. We want to just park them and say that, okay, we know that this is an unknown dormant wallet. Now, we feel strongly that while these are dormant, there are folks that might come around someday, and we want to cater to that, right? So here's our program, which we think addresses all those needs. First and foremost, we're going to focus on those core NFTs, so that's Nexus, Maxim, etc., that are inactive or abandoned. What that means is there has been no claim made against it at all. So what we would like to do is basically put a date on it, and by the end of October, October 31st, 2024, if there is no claim that has been made on a core NFT, we're going to consider that a dormant one, and the Vitru is automatically transferred to the general Vibe equity pool escrow. So not actually into the pool, into a holding area for the pool, right? So now the holder might come at any time in the future and convert from escrow to the pool. So they can take that escrow and say, okay, I'm going to put it into the pool, and they have earnings that accrue from that time of conversion. As a result of this, we are going to remove the freeze that we put on the claim. And as of October 1, it will be active again, and everyone can go and claim their Vitru. But the idea here is basically, if you've got a core NFT or something, go make a claim. So we know that we called it proof of life, So it's kind of like, yes, you exist, you're aware of what's going on, or you don't know it. There's a lot of people who have no idea what's going on. And I think Mike will agree, you see still people saying, hey, what happened to my Vulcan coin or something like that? They have no idea how much this ecosystem has matured and how much has happened. And that's okay, but we have to move on, and we cannot allow these things to hold us back, right? And these things are holding us back right now. So we've come up with a very fair program that says, okay, fine, if you're not here, we're going to set aside your Vitru, and we're going to make it available for revenue share. Now, you and I both know in crypto, there's a lot of times where we go to a project and we find we missed some deadline and we lost out completely. Those coins are gone, or those tokens are gone. We don't want that. We want to give them sort of a benefit, but it's an escrow. And so that's what's going to happen to dormant, or I like the term someone used here, zombie wallets. So that's good. So yeah, expect the claim to freeze to be lifted, and then we are back in business there. All right, so that's it for dormant wallet claims. So lots of exciting news here. We've got the 2 equity pools, and we've got the dormant wallet claim. All right. Now let's talk a little bit about Vortex World. So it's over to Mike, who is the new head of the Vortex project.
Okay, awesome. All right, I'm super excited about this. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and when Nick told me, he says, "Hey, I want you to take over Vortex," I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm all in! Like, this is crazy." So, I used to be years and years ago. I used to work for Activision as a game tester, so out in Santa Monica. So I used to be an avid gamer, and as I just got older and kids and family, you kind of you just can't get involved as you used to. And now games have become so complex. It's like having a second wife or a second relationship, because they're so addictive. So I don't play too much anymore, but I have a really good foundation of what makes a great game, and especially with my kind of tour of duty at Activision. So Nick and I talked, and we were now gone into contract with Neon Circus as a primary developer for Vortex World. We are just wrapping up the MOU to get that done. We're going to have the game theory done. We're going to have, the land claim, all the concepts. We're going to have everything completed this month. So The game is not going to be fully developed this month. It will be more of a shell version just to get us started. But I should have something to report possibly next Friday in terms of what the concept is and how the tokenomics are going to work. At least the concept of the game is going to be completed by then. So we're definitely excited about that. We're going to go over how the Vortex NFTs are involved, how the Vitruveo is involved in terms of features, assets. We'll talk enemies, we'll talk battles, we'll talk how to profit from it, how to make money from it, and just how to have fun. So we're really excited about that. We're in the early stages, but we're building it out as we speak. So that's going to be a big part of my role moving forward. Yeah. So I covered a couple of these things. The first phase one, is going to be a 30-day period. So myself and Neon Circus, the dev teams, we're going to be building out phase one over the next 30 days. We will have a plan for the remaining 75,000 Vortex NFTs. This is going to be a big part of Warpcast. So we're in development with Warpcast, and I'm not sure if Nick's going to touch on that today, but that's going to be a huge component of marketing those 75,000 Vortex NFTs. And there will be Vibe and RapFit True components to the game, which will be really, really cool. If you are still interested in getting more Vortex NFTs to add to your bag, you can still get them on the Honcho Exchange as well as neoncircus.xyz. So definitely look for some exciting updates from us on what's coming up with Vortex World. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. One of the things that we need to recognize is put together Vortex very quickly, and now we actually have a team, we have a vision, and we'll have updates, daily updates and things like that. So looking forward to that. I just need to remove the presentation for one moment, and I'll bring it right back up. So give me a moment here. Okay, we are back. All right, and let's continue, and let's talk a little bit about Vitruveo Suite. So last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of progress made with Vitruveo Suite, and search has been really, really humming. We've added a search carousel here, and we are seeing lots of artworks being consigned here. And there's some new features coming in response to what people are asking. We're always listening. We may not always be able to reply to individual things, but we are always listening. And we have a lot of cool new features coming up. So let's talk a little about that. So first of all, thank you to the artist community for stepping up here and responding. Really appreciate it. I'll just reiterate one more time again. Vitruveo Suite is still in beta. Don't expect perfection. We are building as we go. Second thing is, don't expect from our platform here the maturity of established platforms from 1 or 2 years. All right, we are getting started here. We are listening to your feedback, and we are building. Just remember one thing: Vitruveo is not a marketplace. We don't intend to be a marketplace. Vitruveo is a blockchain with a completely new and revised model, an innovative model about how Web3 art should work. So take the time to really understand what is being built here and how it works. Don't expect the same old thing that you've seen from the other marketplaces, which are mostly going under anyway. So we are solving the problems from a first principles perspective. So take the time to understand what is consignment. I still see people saying, I minted on Vitruveo. No, we don't mint on Vitruveo. Minting happens at the time of sale. We consign the artwork at the blockchain level, and we intend to have lots of marketplaces, hundreds, maybe even thousands of marketplaces. Also, I have been very emphatic about this in every post I have made about Vitruveo, and I want to say it again very clearly. If you are an artist and you are jumping on to Vitruveo right now, understand that our cryptocurrency is brand new, was just listed 3 days ago, and is extremely volatile. If you expect to sell your artwork and pay your rent or whatever with Vitru, not going to happen. It's going to be very difficult for you to jump into that volatile market right now and be able to get your money's worth. So right now, the best thing you can do is hold on to your Vitru or stake it. There's no point in having the Vitru sit in your wallet. It makes no sense. It's not growing. We have a beautiful opportunity for you to have a lifetime of income, and that is Vibe. So the best, the smartest thing you could do with Vitru you make from your art sales today is to stake it for Vibe. If you don't like the thought of staking for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, I understand you're artists, you're not in DeFi, and these things are new concepts to you. Then go stake on the APR for 60 days, 180 days, things like that. But I'm just going to be very honest and very candid because I hear artists talk about this. It's very important for you to recognize that while Vitru just became liquid, the liquidity is not sizable enough for everyone to just sell the artwork and immediately cash out. This is a 90-day play. You gotta wait for a little bit while we build up the liquidity. We work our way to our centralized exchange so we can have more public investors come in, etc. So I just want to emphasize that again and again because I don't want any artist to feel that, hey, I wasn't told that this is not liquid or whatever. No, this is an emphatic message I put out every time. So what's coming up here is new search enhancements. So we're going to put some filters in there for you. We're going to put some sorts and things like that you're looking for. But what I'm really excited about is this new feature that is going to allow anyone, whether you're an artist or you're not an artist, to become a curator and earn 10% through the publish stack feature. Now, to understand why this is important, let's hear that message again. On Vitruveo, artists do not do any marketing ever. You create your artwork, you consign your artwork, and you are done. If you don't post about it on Twitter or Instagram ever, perfectly fine. We don't expect you to do any marketing. We are building a marketing machine for your artwork. And that starts with this curator earnings feature. So what we're going to allow you to do is to create beautiful videos, beautiful web galleries, and things like that, and create links. And those links are going to have your affiliate ID. So that's just a way of saying a unique ID to track that you are the one who is promoting that link. And like I said, it could be an artist, you can be a crypto investor, you can be anybody. You promote art to your niche audience, and when a sale occurs, you make 10% of that sale. That comes in addition to what the artist is paid. So the artist is always paid 100% on Vitruveo. There's never any fees or anything like that. You don't pay anything ever to consign your artwork. In general, our commitment to artists is you won't pay anything. It's that simple. You will earn money. We are focused on making it possible for you to have a lifetime sustainable income. So as Mike said, we've got a new creator lead, Pam Voth. We'd love for you to meet with her. So we'll be doing some spaces this week. We'll talk about it. I'd love to get on there with Pam, and we'll tell you about some of the things coming up. So these are the things that are happening with Vitru Suite. All right. Last, let's talk about Poet. So we've had this program, but what we're going to do is we're going to freeze it until we have marketing staff to administer. So what we will do is we will review and airdrop prizes for any past Poet campaigns. I understand one was glitchy and you could not claim. We'll throw that out of the mix. And anything prior to that, we will include and make sure that it's included in prizes. So that's our update for today. But today, I have a special talk I want to give also. So Mike, if you don't mind, I'm going to bop you off the screen here for a little bit, and I'm going to do a short presentation. Then we'll come back and we'll answer some of these questions.
Sounds good.
All right. So give me a moment, folks, and we'll get going here. Sorry, guys, just taking a bit of time to get this sharing done. Here we are. All right. So today is an exciting day for me in more ways than one. Um, this represents year one, uh, exactly, almost exactly to the day, 1 year ago. Um, I was here and I pitched an idea to the community. And what I want to do today is talk a little bit about that journey, this 1 year journey that I have taken with you. So let's talk about that. So, first thing is, 1 year ago today, the Vulcan community was leaderless and had no future. The token value was precisely zero. That's it. That's the reality of it. Let's look at what has happened since then. So, I presented a vision to build a blockchain for creators to the community. We took a vote on it and we decided to move forward. Um, I don't think there was any doubt in my mind that we would go forward because the community, as I said, had no other options. The token price was zero. There was no future. I knew that would be a very, very difficult journey, but I decided to take it on anyway. This is the vision I presented a year ago. I said, let's build a blockchain for creators. We build a creator first protocol with passive income generation through rebasing, with intellectual property rights management, and financial incentives and monetization for creators. What you've just heard today in the prior presentation and what you've been hearing for the 52 weeks every Friday where I have stepped up here on video and given you an update is exactly this. We've built this. It was very, very difficult, but we've built this. The first few months, actually the first half year, I won't mince word. It was hell. Mostly not because of the work or because of the challenge. It was because of members of the community. Very toxic. But I didn't care about them. I still don't care about them, and I will never care about them. I care about the folks who understand the vision and who are willing to provide constructive criticism, give good feedback, and help us grow together. That's what I'm looking for. As a leader, that's what I have to do. So that was the vision, and that's what we built. So I like to think of this as kind of like a 1 year CEO performance review. All right, I it's we do that like as when we are in Web3, so there's no employer employee kind of model. But let's look at it this way. All right, I want to reflect back a little bit on what's been done. So we ran a boosters campaign right away initially in order to raise capital because we had no money. That turned out to be a wild success, thanks to all the folks in our community who did an amazing, amazing gesture of support, and we raised $1.75 million. Next, we set out to build Vitru Suite. I had a vision, I architected it, and we have a good team. We put the team together, and I wrote all the contracts for it. I wrote an asset registry contract where you can consign things. We have a license registry where you have flexible licenses. I fundamentally believe that everything that has happened in Web3 art with the marketplaces is wrong because they applied what is a very general model of NFTs, which involved one thing alone, an ID, to art. That doesn't work that way. Art is intellectual property. There are variants of it, etc. So there needs to be a good licensing model. Vitruveo is the first blockchain where we don't not only have licensing as a first-class citizen of everything we do with regard to art, but it's also on-chain. We have the ability to create hundreds of types of licenses. We've started off with 4, and we will create more and more licenses. The basic premise of Vitruveo is that art is monetizable again and again and again, as long as the artist retains copyright of the artwork, which they do unless they will willingly sign it away. They should be able to monetize it from the day it's created forever. So the compounding of that is how you create wealth. And that's what our license model is designed to do. We have a media registry. The media registry incorporates industry standard C2PA signing that is adopted by Google, Microsoft, Adobe, etc. We haven't talked about it with our community yet, but it's already being done. The artwork you consign is being signed, and it can be proven that you are the one who authorized that signature, and it was uploaded through Vitru Studio. We have an on-chain metadata store. No one in any marketplace or any blockchain has the depth and breadth of metadata that we have for art. Why? Well, there's a standard. It's called linked art. It is used by the Louvre. It's used by other big museums. We incorporate that same standard into our metadata, and we put it on chain because we want your art to have provenance and discoverability forever. We have the concept of a creator vault. This doesn't exist anywhere else. When you come to Vitruveo and consign your first artwork, we create a vault for you, a smart contract that is yours and yours alone. Every NFT that is minted for you on your behalf after licensing, its ownership can be traced to your vault. Every Vitru that you earn is deposited into that vault, and you can claim it with any wallet you choose. Your vault supports an unlimited number of wallets. Soon, we will be rolling out multi-signature capability to your vaults. What does that mean? It means as an artist, you're protected from hackers. So they can't just get to your wallet and steal your money. If you leave it in your vault, it's safe and secure until you're ready to trade it, claim it, etc. And you can have as many wallets as you want. Doesn't matter. The chance of you losing control of your artworks because your wallet got hacked is non-existent on Vitruveo. It will never happen. Your vault is forever. Next, we introduced the concept of collector credits, which is now replaced by VUSD. It is a currency agnostic way to buy art. We decided early on that we are going to express art prices in US dollars. Why? Because we want to get that 84% of folks who are not in crypto yet, who would be interested in art, to buy art. We don't want people to have to figure out what is this ETH convert to, what is this SOL convert to, etc. It's fixed. It's very simple. And we also make it where the buyer essentially gets collector credits in US dollars. And so the transaction is always in US dollars, but the artist is paid in our utility coin, which is Vitru. This is us making it currency agnostic. It doesn't, we can enable purchases of artwork on Vitruveo with any cryptocurrency or any fiat currency possible without doing a whole lot, because our architecture is designed for that. So that's Vitru Suite. We also created an airdrop system that is flexible and will grow over time. We're going to add more and more capabilities to it, and that has already garnered close to 10,000 users. Next, let's talk about protocol rebasing. Vitruveo is the first L1 protocol that has rebasing, otherwise known as compound interest, built right into the protocol. Anytime you use the word rebasing and you go search the internet, you will find that it's implemented with a smart contract. Not so with Vitruveo. When we have a rebase, all your wallets automatically get that compound interest. By the way, you see here there are blocks in purple and there are blocks in black. Anything is in black is something I proudly have worked on myself, and no one else played any role in it. So I implemented fully the protocol rebasing that you see on Vitruveo today. Next is Swapper. So we built this application in order to solve the problem of having runaway inflation in terms of our outstanding coins. We gave people the opportunity to swap their Vitru for our DEX coin, which I'm going to talk about later, and do some other things. So that was Swapper app. Next, built the entire concept of the core NFT platform, which today allows us to have multiple types of NFTs with holders having the ability to have vesting periods and the ability to claim their Vitru over time. So that was a very difficult app to build, probably even more complex, I think, than the protocol rebasing part. Next, I built the Vitro coin contract, which is our DEX contract. Now, Vitro is, as I have alluded to before, is going to see its spotlight toward the end of August. as we talk about its use with relation to the upcoming Honcho Launchpad. This is going to become a very, very, very important token in our ecosystem, and I'm proud to have worked on it. Next, I built Scope. So Scope is the centerpiece of for managing all your assets on Vitruveo. It grows. I add to it every week, every day, even sometimes multiple times a day, and continue to build upon that. Next, the collector credits and VUST that we talked about. Those are both NFTs and tokens that we published. Also created GraphQL for Vitruveo. This gives us the ability to index NFTs because by themselves, contracts don't give very good data on NFTs, but for marketplaces and other apps to use NFTs, we need an indexer, and that's GraphQL. Next, built the USDC bridge that today allows us to easily bridge USDC from Polygon to Vitruveo and vice versa. Also, developed the entire concept and created all the smart contracts and did all the marketing and promotion around Vortex. This has resulted in $300,000 of income to the protocol so far. Introduced the concept of Vibe, Vitruveo Income Building Engine, which is how, as a protocol, as an innovation for a protocol, we are able to create revenue share for our entire ecosystem. And finally, introduced Wrap Vitru with a circuit breaker, which is, again, a novel way for us to introduce a token in our ecosystem while managing the price effectively. So these are all the things we've delivered to the community in the past year. Now let's talk a little bit about our trajectory, right? We've hinted and we've said directly, it's important for people in this ecosystem to understand that Vitruveo is a blockchain. It's a tech startup. It's not a token. It doesn't have a lifespan of a few months. This is going to last for decades. Let's look at the series we've been through. So the past 12 months have been plan and build. We consider that our pre-seed round. We're about to go into a 6-month period that we call product market fit. This phrase famously comes from Mark Andreessen, the founder of Netscape, who says, in order for a startup to find success, it has to find what the market is for the product it's building. So that's what we are about to embark on. And that's our seed round. We'll raise another $1 or $2 million, and that's going to take us through the next 6 months. Once we are past that, then it's time for us to scale and to really, really grow to the point where we can achieve the billions of dollars in sales that we want. That's a 12-month minimum, 12-month trajectory there, and we'll do a much larger funding round then. So when you think about Vitruveo, you need to think about it as a tech startup. The pattern that you're seeing here is one that I have gone through myself multiple times, having created multiple tech startups. I've had a few failures and a few exits. And every single time, this is the Silicon Valley startup pattern. You might have few months in one, you might have more months in other, the dollars might change a little bit, but in general, the pattern is the same. And this is how we as a blockchain are going to grow into a sustainable ecosystem over decades, right? We are going to transform forever how the world views art, how the world interacts with art, and how artists get respect in this world. Today, artists are not regarded as professionals just the way an accountant or a programmer or a doctor is. When you say you're an artist, first of all, you get pushback from your family, then you get pushback from your friends, and then you get pushback from everyone else. This has to end. We are going to make it possible where every artist can have a sustainable income, a salary, just like everybody else. Vitruveo is not the platform where you come to sell 1 or 2 pieces of art and get an instant cash and leave. No, this is where you belong to the ecosystem, because this is where we are going to help all creators figure out how they are going to have a long-term impact, where they can, a long-term income rather, where they can focus on their art. The world needs more art. We have created enough chaos through social media. We need art to create a gentler, kinder world. And Vitruveo is going to make that happen. All right. So now that you've got sort of an inkling of the performance and what we've done so far, you have to note my compensation to date. My salary to date has been zero. I have not taken any compensation. When we first made this agreement, there was a token agreement that we reached, and that token allocation was 1.9 million Vitru with a vesting period of 2 years. What I'd like to do today is I haven't taken that yet. It's not been allocated yet. But today I'd like to propose to you about how I'd like to have that allocated. The first thing is I'd like to have 200K of it converted to Vitro. As I said, I believe very strongly in Vitro, and I'd like to do it at the same rate as we did with Seal the Deal. So it's essentially double. So that leaves 1.7 million Vitru and 400K Vitro. All right. The next thing I'd like to do is make a commitment to creators. I will help grow the Vitruveo ecosystem by investing $700,000 in artworks in the next 5 months. This is how we are going to help the artists, and we are going to help Vitruveo grow. And I propose the following: 700K VUSD, totally earmarked only for purchasing art from artists on Vitruveo. 100% of it. So this is it's my birthday today, and normally you get gifts, but this is my gift to artists today. I'm committing here publicly to buy $700,000 of artwork on the Vitruveo platform through December 31st of this year. Year one has been amazing, and we've achieved a lot. Year two is the time for Vitruveo to soar. Come and join us. Be part of this ecosystem. You will not regret it. It's going to be an amazing, amazing journey, and it's going to redefine how the world views creators, how the world views art, and really change your life as an artist. The important things are patience and passion. We are new. I always say we are a toddler. Don't ascribe to us the qualities of an adult. We are growing. Grow with us. We are going to be very successful with your help. Join our ecosystem and be part of it. But I thank you for the opportunity to serve. And I hope what I've delivered here in the past year with our teams, with all the amazing community, is value. That's what I've been trying to do. And I hope that I've done that. Thank you. Mike, let's hop on back.
Hey, I think you're everybody's best friend. Great news.
It's
Great
actually
news.
a little emotional for me. I don't know. This is, people don't understand how much passion I poured into this. I've sacrificed a lot of family time. It's been 365 days of 18 to 20 hours every single day. I really believe in this, and I really believe in the success of artists. Sorry, I got a little emotional. But
No,
I
I
thank
think
everyone. I thank everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. I think it's crazy when I first reached out to you. It was, I think a lot of people were frustrated in the community because we just didn't understand what was going on. The communication lines were fractured. Nobody knew what was really going on in various areas. You were wearing 15 different hats, and your passion from the beginning was to get this thing to work. And it's crazy. So I'm a top 20 holder within this community, and my initial intention was to get close to you so I could know what's going on. I want to know really what's going on. We've had critics of the community because of previous bad actors. The community has been through a lot, and they care about you. They care about the project, and they care about their own bag. But there just wasn't clarity on what's going on. And getting to know you over the past month, it's been insane because I've seen you're the real deal. You are a legitimate artist. You're a legitimate tech guy. Your character is unmatched. And I'm not just saying that. I've seen it and I've witnessed it. We've been in conversations where you've had the opportunity to go this way to benefit yourself or some other thing, and you're constantly doing the right thing for the community. And I wish all the critics could see what I've seen over the past 30 days, because you're just amazing. You're an amazing person. You're creative. You're intelligent. You're passionate about art, and you care about this community. So thank you, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you, Mike.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take some questions here. We've
got a lot.
Yeah. Let's go to the star ones. CK says Circuit Break is genius. You're awesome. It's a needed thing because necessity is the mother of invention, they say, right? This was that because I will not allow this ecosystem to go down just because there's folks who want to do a cash grab. I'm not going to do that. We are going to succeed together and grow big. Is there a benefit to hold VUSD for reasons other than artwork purchases right now? Look, it's the stable coin of our ecosystem. I plan on using my VUSD just for buying art. We may introduce other reasons for it. I'm presuming people will create trading pairs for it, but it's always going to be worth exactly $1. Yeah, hold it, or you will be able to acquire VUSD for Vitru. By the way, we'll set up a swap page. It'll be at the standard swap rate, right? We know what the price is for USDC, and so we'll apply that same thing to VUSD. I'm presuming that in Vortex world that we will have the ability for you to buy things with Vitru and with VUSD. So, is there a plan to attract different genre types of art, as it is very heavy on quick AI generated works? How do you plan to get buyers and real artists? So I think this is a two-parter for both of us to answer. I'm just going to take a quick stab at it, Mike, and then I'd like for you to also take a shot at it. Look, when people see a new platform, they gravitate towards it, especially if they can see it as a cash grab, they can get money. That's why in the early days of when we first launched Studio, we had a lot of scammers and impersonators and all of that. We cut down a bit on that, and we're going to continue to see that. But our platform is designed for everybody. There's a lot of artists that are not in Web3. In fact, a majority of them are not in Web3. How are we going to get them on? Well, our go-to-market strategy was to build something, refine it with the existing Web3 artists, so we don't have to explain crypto and all of that, right? But where we are going is we are evolving our platform so that an email address is all you need to know. You don't need to know anything about crypto. You don't need to know about wallets, etc. When we are ready for that, we'll do workshops and we'll do onboarding. And Mike is really passionate about onboarding, so I'll leave that conversation to him. But from a software standpoint, we want to make it where there's not a trace of crypto there. It is welcoming and has a beautiful UX for artists. And until we get to that point, we are not going to market and promote that. So over to you, Mike.
Yeah. So when we look at the current offerings, I have a marketing background and a finance background. And whenever I kind of looked at our offerings and looked at the ecosystem as a whole, it started to get more and more complex. And the problem is we're trying to bridge that Web 2, Web 3 gap where we have artists, investors, and users of the chain coming from Web3 or Web2 into Web3. And Web3 is very convoluted and it's very complicated. So once I started coming in and taking a look, it's really funny. Nick and I did a Myers-Briggs together where we started to see that Nick and I our thinking is so in line. A lot of times he'll say something and I'm like, I was just thinking that. And it's just this very strange partnership where I don't think I've ever met somebody that thinks like me. The difference though between Nick and I is Nick has the technical ability and I have the organization, simplifying and collaborating and unifying and simplifying, the whole concept of the chain. And we just found that there's times where Nick and I will have meetings and we've been talking for 4 hours straight, and all we're doing is it's just an explosion of different ideas that are going all over the chain, and it's so funny. We're just massively taking notes, and it's just a really neat collaboration. In terms of the artists, though, we really do want to simplify onboarding. Our vision really is this blockchain is going to be the blockchain for all things art, whether it's video games, whether it's music, whether it's film, whether it's individual art. But not only that, having that bridge from Web 2 to Web 3. So you can do print on demand, you can do streaming, you can, we're even exploring coming out with a product line of our own Vitruveo TVs. There's so many really cool things that are coming down in the pipeline, and we record everything. All the feedback that we've gotten from Discord, from our incredible community, guys, I every single thing that gets DM'd to me gets recorded, and it gets classified. And this one's an idea, and this one's, hey, we got to fix this, and hey, this one is just a vent, but at the core of that vent is a real need. And Nick and I talk about every single thing that I get DM'd. I'm trying to get out of that role, but we're still going to have that process through the community managers. But I just want to say thank you again to the community for all of your suggestions. We're going to continue that. I talked about this maybe 30 minutes ago about doing the town halls. We are going to go into town halls really to get community feedback and really to have a feedback loop. I do want to do feedback loops with creators as well that are actually using search and using our tools and our platforms to give feedback, because sometimes you get so caught up in the weeds, you really don't, you forget about user experience. And I love Steve Jobs' quote that if it needs instructions, it's too complicated. And I've always used that in our approach and how we're communicating the vision of Vitruveo and really what we want to do with it. But simplification, user experience, and hopefully making lots of money. That's definitely going to be the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Happy birthday, Nick. Thank you. Thank you. Can you please send the OG's Nexus NFTs benefits to the wallets that hold them, just like Vibe? Because we bought Nexus NFTs to those that wanted out of the project. Okay, I think this refers to transferred wallets where I send the benefits to where the NFT sits versus the OG. So I think we can do that, except I think perks is something special. So we'll have to, when we get around to doing the distribution or the claiming rather of perks, we'll have to figure that out because they were allocated to the original, holder. So we'll have to come up with a way to mitigate that. Maybe we make it where if you can prove that you were the owner, you can then claim to any wallet you want. So we might do something like that. But other than that, I don't see any issue with what you asked for. Is VUSD will be paired with like a Rapid True, Arbitro, and trading? I don't see any reason why people would not create pairs. It's up to whoever wants to provide liquidity and do that. It is a stable coin, and yeah, so I fully expect that on DEX. When you stake locked Vitru for Vibe, your unclaimed Vitru disappears. I mean, goes to zero. It's this normal, or am I the only one who experienced? Yes, this is normal. We have to give you a dashboard of your staked Vitru. We have to build that into Scope. That is on my list of things to do. So you'll be able to see how much is staked where and what you're earning. But yeah, it does go away from your core NFT, your Nexus or your Maxim, because that's where you've done, right? You've said, okay, I'm done with it here. I'm going to stake it. And then once it's unstaked, it'll be unlocked, because that everyone's vesting period is less than the minimum stake period of 1 year. So it's guaranteed that when it's unstaked, it'll be available in your wallet. But we will provide a dashboard, so you'll be able to see that. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's just sitting in the contract, but it's still allocated to you. Who will be responsible for marketing, Mike?
That's a big subject. I was just working on the marketing plan, and it's super comprehensive. It's not just, oh yeah, we're going to pay an influencer to do a short blurb on Vitruveo. It's a legitimate, detailed marketing plan. So too much to get into it on this one, but just know that it's in development. We're hoping to launch, the marketing within, or at least start the marketing within a couple of weeks, because the first part of our marketing is going to be Vortex World. And we're going to kind of start there, but I will have something put together, maybe a week and a half. Probably like a week to a week and a half. I'll have an outline of a complete roadmap for marketing and how it's going to be executed. But we got some crazy ideas.
Arco is amazing. He's just wonderful to deal with. 100,000%. Yes, he's a great guy. And I'm really thankful to have someone like Arco in our ecosystem who is just a steadfast
All
leader.
the mods, they're amazing.
And Mike, we haven't talked about this yet, but in every open source project I've been a part of, we've tried to implement like an MVP, most valuable professional kind of, we need to do that, because there's just so many stalwarts in our community here. There's some great people, and they deserve recognition. I'd like to start bringing them up in our weeklies. You're going to do the town halls. I believe that the silent heroes need recognition. They should not be silent forever. We need to celebrate them.
The problem is they're and I don't say this just for a fun talking point, but they're all they're VIPs. They're all amazing. They've saved my butt, every single one of them, whether it's Biz, Esso, whether it's Baron, whether it's, I mean, everybody has grinded to support this community. And it really is a grassroots community project. And a lot of them have done it without compensation. They've done it without pats on the backs. So definitely take care of the mods, take care of all those people that have supported you, supported the chain. Because when you're on the other side of it, you got to remember, I was a holder and a community member. Now I'm a part of the team, and you see a different side of things. You see all the work that goes into all the meetings and the strategies, and it is so much work. I mean, Nick and I are putting in 16 to 18 hours a day. We go to bed late, we get up at 4 a.m. and I start work. I just wake up, and I wake up at 4 a.m. my time, and I'll send him a message just to kind of give him a heads up on something, and he replies. And it's crazy. I'm like, what are you doing up? And he's like, I never went to bed. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. I'm like, Nick, go to bed. But when you're passionate about something, you don't really think about sleep. You just enjoy what you're doing, and it's invigorating. And the energy that we get from the mods, the energy that we get from the community is, it's amazing. Yeah, it's been really cool.
A compliment for us, excellent communicators. Appreciate that. Thank you. It's always an opportunity for growth. But thank you for that. Shout out to Didi, top man, always helping. Well done. Yes, absolutely. 1,000,000%. I mean, just as Mike just said, there's just we don't have enough words to express our gratitude and how amazing people are. So I wonder if there are any plan to have something implemented to protect the artist payment price. For one piece I sold for 500, and now the coins are worth half, so a bit discouraging. No, as I've emphatically said again and again, and we've made it a point in every communication to, this should not be about a current value. It's extremely volatile, and your income has not lost value. You just need to hold on to it to the point where the coin is stable, and then it'll be fine. But I encourage people to not think about short-term gain right now, because once again, repeat, Vitruveo today is not the platform for you if you just want to extract money for your rent or whatever. It's too new and too young. The coin was just listed. So staking is a better option for longer term income. In 90 days, it's going to be a whole different scenario.
I think also, though, Nick, just to speak to, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, I think we do need to do a better job of managing expectations to the creators that are onboarded on what's coming down the pipe and how to navigate through this, and also expectation of income and revenue. I have some ideas for that, just to manage those expectations, because we don't want anybody being disappointed. We want the user experience to be strong. We want expectations to be managed, and that way there's no surprises. And we definitely don't want to let anybody down. But I will take ownership of that and make sure that future creators don't share that disappointment.
Yeah, as I said, if you're coming on board right now, you're coming on board with eyes wide open that this is a journey. We want to have you be delighted about what we are building for you, and not disappointed that, oh, the coin is not trading at a certain value, or it's dropped in price. We expect it to drop right now. But you are not aware of that if you're just coming into the ecosystem and think of it as another Ethereum or Solana or something. That's why I take pains to note for everyone that this is new, and if you need perfection, if you need stability, etc., then please wait. Give us some time, and we will get there. When KYC for artists, right? So that is actually in today's meeting. We had KYC on the feature list for the upcoming 2 or 3 weeks. So you're going to see it in that time frame. Have you thought about the idea of establishing a method where first artists could wrap first? This would account for all the time that some artists are investing more than others. What do you think? This is about prioritizing wrap Vitru to be able to sell. I think I don't know how we could implement something like this. The granularity of what we would need to, the data we would need to parse in order to build something like this would probably be non-trivial. But it is a good suggestion. I understand where it's coming from. It's basically saying that the artists who came early should be able to monetize right away, is how I'm interpreting that. It's complicated. I'll think about it a little bit. DD Arco will do a great job on Discord. Yes. This is awesome news. More staking. Yep. So this is, I believe Mystique is talking about the equity pools. Yep. Can those validators who will instead opt for 15,000 Vitru vested for 24 months instead convert the equivalent Vitru into Vibe? If yes, what's the option? So this is about the inactive validators, correct, Mike?
Yeah. So we would just have to look at what the total amount is of that pool, of the number of validators that are maybe opting out, see what that volume is, and explore that. I'm not against it. I just think we have to look at it. But I've got it written down. So thank you, CryptoPay.
All right. How is equity pool different than stake for Vibe? Is that we invest Vitru for versus 5 years as different? Yeah, the equity pool is a public pool. It's where you contribute your Vitru and you get a revenue share that is proportionate to how much Vitru you contributed compared to everybody else. So if there are 10,000 Vitru in there, then the 40,000 Vibe revenue is divided among 10,000. If there's 100,000, it's divided among 100,000. Now, the staking Vitru for 5 years is very different. It's night and day different. In the equity pool, your Vitru is gone into the pool. You don't get it back. With the staking, you get your Vitru back after the time period. The staking time period has elapsed. Also, whatever Vibe you get, you are getting 100% of the revenue share of that, whereas here you are getting a proportionate share of the revenue. So that's the main difference. Will the 80K come from treasury or from yes, that's where actually 40K of that is going to come from the balance that we've got right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got about
Mm-hmm.
60K there. I don't know if it's changed any in the time we've been talking, but yeah, that's basically where a bulk of it is going to come from, and then the remaining from the treasury. Yeah, we will not impact any other category. I'll be able to stake part of our total airdrop stake Vitru instead of all or nothing. Oh wow, I see. That's already a complicated thing, and this is going to make it so much more
Well, we
complicated.
talked about this, Nick.
Yeah.
And the problem is the development side and the time it's going to take in order to source that out. So we made the decision just to do all or nothing. That's the decision that we're at right now. Unless Nick, you can shed some color on that. But I know we talked about this last week, and I think that was the decision that we went. Is all or nothing, just because of the coding and the time
Yeah.
that it would take to build that out.
Look, we're going to dive into that and make a best effort, if at all possible, and it's a quick hit. Then I don't see why we wouldn't do it. But it, on the surface, it does look like it's going to be a complicated thing. So for right now, Mike's answer stands. Are
But
they
we'll
going to be?
revisit it. We will revisit it. So
Yeah.
I don't want to shut you down. We will revisit it.
Are there going to be job positions open for Vortex World? I think there are going to be opportunities for everyone to participate in our ecosystem. We are working on developing models for that. So that's Mike is going to lead that effort.
Mhm.
How do we stake the staked Vitru APR for Vibe? Well, we just announced it today, and the time period for it is 1 to 2 weeks. I always get this right, like it takes a little bit of time, so it's going to be a 1 to 2 weeks, and during that time period we will have a UI and everything, and you'll be able to go probably into scope and do the same thing like you have a stake for Vibe right now. We'll probably either modify that page or create a second page for you, where right now we have unlock Vitru, lock Vitru. We're going to put another one there called probably airdrop stake Vitru or something like that, and make it possible for you to do that. Can you provide a sales pack or call link that we can use to present to art galleries or photographers? That's yours, Mike.
So what we have planned is we're going to start with the website for creators, and this is going to be the first stop that we're going to use to pitch onboarding. It's going to have tutorials. It's going to have very visual, simple representations of what Vitruveo is. It's going to talk about our value propositions on why it's different. It will talk about, we have to parse it out because some of them are creators and then some of them are, partnerships and affiliates. So we're going to have to make a decision on that. We're not going to have like brand marketing or direct mail pieces or anything like that. It really is going to be Web 2 based in terms of how we disseminate that information. So we're going to start with the website. I'm going to be tackling that this week and see if I can get a basic shell uploaded. We're going to get some whiteboard presentations on how to simplify the concept of Vitruveo to artists coming over from, let's say, OpenSea or Blur or some of these other marketplaces. And then we're going to go into tutorials on actual onboarding and expectations and all of that stuff. There will be an FAQ there. There will be, possibly a chat bot that has Q&As already kind of built into it. But that's going to be coming in the next week and a half.
Great. Will the rev share also be based on the price of Vitru real time or just art sales? Lookup asked. It's neither. So the price of Vitru is immaterial there because the rev share is based on Vitru. So it's there's no conversion factor there. It's just Vitru, and the rev share is based on all income for the platform. So right now we only have art sales, but we're also going to have rebasing income. We're going to have vortex income, etc., coming in, and yeah. So this is why Vibe is probably the best thing possible to stake on and get. If you are holding Vibe right now, it is the best feature this blockchain has to offer in terms of long-term revenue.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's every kind of incoming revenue. In search, can you add an icon that indicates the total aggregate volume of sale in the dollar? We can do a little better than that. It's already on a plan to add a sales analytics page, because we want to have numbers about how many artworks were consigned, how many were sold, what was the average price, what was the total price per day, per week, and so on and so forth. So we're going to add a sales analytics page there, but that actually doesn't belong in search. It belongs in store, and our store is currently not developed at all other than the actual listing page. So our model is a Shopify model, where when we build out the store, it's really software that is usable by anybody. Anyone can go in there and say create new marketplace, and they can create a replica of the store, except you would choose what artworks you want to filter in there. So maybe you only want to have photographs or black and white photographs in your marketplace. So you do that, and you will get a link, and you can put colors and a title and a banner and content, etc., and you can create your own marketplace. So in there, for every marketplace, there's going to be an analytics page. So just think Shopify, but for Web3 art. That's what we are building, and that's where we'll put the sales numbers, etc. For right now, though, you'll have to settle for us giving you a report on every Friday. I've been in many failed projects, and finally I landed on this project with Nick leading the way. Thank you, Nick, and thank you for bringing Mike. Well, Mike volunteered. Appreciate that very much. So, but thank you for the kind words. Most appreciated. Are our Vortex and Vibes also in our Creator Vault? No. The intent of your Creator Vault is to is restricted or limited rather to your assets. Whatever you put in, you consign, and then whatever is licensed from it will go in there. So your vault has first and foremost the NFTs that are minted for it. So if you go look at people who are collecting your artwork, you'll see that they get a token ID of the NFT that is numbered sequentially, and that sequence starts at one for each artist in their vault and goes onward. But the Vortex, Vibes, etc., those are yours. Those go into the wallet, and we don't distinguish that it has to be an artist who has it versus a crypto investor. So therefore, that goes directly into your wallet. Arco asks, what about the multi-sig wallet for creators? We have to protect the creators from scammers. Absolutely. So here's the thing: there's two levels of possibility of scamming. One is where they are using phishing or something like that to get the private key, or they even get a creator to sign a transaction unwittingly because people are so used to just click, and we can't do much about that because that's a wallet level thing. What we can do is the income that creators are making that is going into their vault, we can prevent that from being grabbed by someone by implementing a requirement that at least two wallets approve withdrawing that. So we have that capability already built in there. We haven't incorporated it yet, activated it yet, because immediately it will confuse most artists. So we need to have a program where we educate, demonstrate, and have artists opt into that multi-sig. That way, there won't be any confusion, because otherwise people immediately go into, hey, my money is blocked, you won't let me claim it. And we don't want that. We want a great experience for the artists and help them understand how this is secure. How will the royalty percentages be set for different licenses that we are using currently? For example, CC by SA. How does perpetual income work in this case? Does one-of-one work mean exclusive license to the buyer? Yeah. So royalty percentages are set by individual artists. It doesn't. It has no correlation with the license type. It could, but it doesn't have to right now. So when you create an NFT license, what you're saying is, I, the artist, give the buyer who mints that NFT a license, and whatever license you choose, say CC by SA, um, the right to have this NFT and use it for whatever purposes the license allows for this price. And that's it. You are under no obligation to do anything more for that buyer. The buyer is under no obligation to do anything more for you. Furthermore, that artwork you have, you can license it again and again for other purposes. So you can license it for print, for stream, and things like that. So your perpetual income works simply by, right now, checking the stream option. There's a stream license in there, and we have a default checked by everyone, because the moment we enable our streaming service, we want a bunch of artworks already there that people can curate, and then funds start flowing in there. So that's kind of what perpetual income is. And then one of one means an exclusive license to mint an NFT for that artwork for only one buyer. Yeah. So one of one and editions are mutually exclusive. You can't simultaneously have lots of editions and sell that same artwork as a one of one, because that wouldn't be true anymore. All right. Is there any news on the BTC sacrifices that did not get verified yet? Well, we've had plenty of opportunities for people to report on that. I don't know of any that are outstanding at the moment. I think we've closed the books on those. But if you feel there is, then just go through the process that Mike mentioned and surface it to us. I have DM'd Vitruveo on Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and a Warpcast with no response of why my work is not showing up. The only platform that you didn't use is the one where we provide support, which is dreamverse.vitruveo.xyz. That's our Telegram, and that's where you would have someone in the community look at your issue and surface it for us. So we don't monitor all the other channels for support-related issues. But Bunny, let us know on Telegram, and we'll figure out what is going on there. How do you solve our debt problem? I don't see how you got them off the market if we are still 5 million in debt. All right.
I can answer this.
Yeah.
If you do, if you want it, that's fine.
No,
but
no,
I've tried to address this quite a bit in Discord. We had something like 24 million Vitru that were, I forget what the exact OG allocation was, Nexus allocation, but we had about 24 million Vitru. The analogy is it's not really a debt, but it's more of a analogous to a debt, because most businesses, when they open up, they don't have the investors showing up day one that want to take the profit out. Most businesses, anytime you start a business, you go get a loan, and then you make payments on that loan. You get an SBA loan, you make payments, or you're a VC or seed investor, at which point you get revenue sharing or equity sharing. You get profit from the business. We're kind of unique in that we have this, these investors that hold these tokens that can sell right on day one. So that's very unique. So the way we deal with that is we have to, in traditional finance terms, we have to finance that debt, and we have to convert it from, because if you've ever had like an IRS lien or anything like that on your bank account, as soon as the money hits that bank account, it's gone. It gets sent, to the IRS. Whereas if you're like, let's say, do a Chapter 13 or you do something like that, then they basically take the debt, finance it, and you make payments on that debt. Our concept is actually really brilliant in the sense that what we're doing is taking those debtors and then turning them into, we're going to give you a percentage of profit and then converting them into vibes. So what we've basically done is kick the debt down 5 years until we have sufficient liquidity. So it's not that we're eliminating the debt, we're just moving it to 5 years down the road to give us time to grow. That's the idea behind Vibe. That's the idea behind the staking. We really want to make that clear. There's also some other questions about VCs and that sort of thing. If you guys go to Discord at like 7 a.m. yesterday, I made a pinned post to give you guys an update on that, to let you know, Nick has always kind of said, we need traction, we need traction. That was the feedback. So the biggest thing that we're working on is a working model for the VCs. We're dealing with the outstanding circulating supply of Vitruveo, which addresses that issue. And we need DEX and SEX listings. So we're right around the corner to getting those things accomplished. Take a look at the pinned post. You guys can get an update on that. We have VCs that are in place. We have commitments, agreements, but nothing is going to be transacted until we fix those issues, which we're right on the kind of home, I would say in the next 30 to 90 days is kind of our target. But again, it really depends on some of these developments that we're launching right now. The success of Vortex World, there's a few things that are happening that have to get done. But the staking vibing is going to be critical to that funding.
All right, Pam. Hi, Pam. So for the stake Vitruveo for Vibe, please consider the minimum amounts required. For example, Genesis creators could stake 99 only.
Yeah, okay. That's through the
Yeah, I know how to solve this. I will make the Vibe stake feature in scope a little forgiving and round up by 1 if needed. So you can go ahead and do that. That's not what you were thinking, Mike? What were you going to say? Sorry.
No. Hold on. I misunderstood the question.
It's basically a one short. You're one short
yeah.
Because of how the payment system worked. Actually, some of the earlier payments were off by 0.000000001. So as a result, you can't stake because you're short. So by rounding up, if you're off by 1, it's basically an off by 1 issue. Then in scope, this problem can be solved. So it will treat a 99.5 or 99.9 as 100, and therefore you'll be able to stake. Hey, is the Da Vinci grant still a thing? Yes, and I'm embarrassed to say it was on my plate, and I dropped the ball because I was just so busy on Vibe and DEX and all of that. I have the data on it. I will commit to getting all the fulfillments done this week. It is an important thing, and I dropped the ball on that. So I apologize. We'll follow up and get it done. Do you know yet when we can expect to see the Elastic Edition licensing option for creators? Yes. So we actually had it in our list today for implementation. It is number 8 on that list, I believe, of 10 items. So it's going to happen very fast. I'll tell you why it's number 8. There are other priorities for the business, which is to be able to demonstrate and implement our marketing for artworks, right? If we are making a claim that as an artist, you don't have to market on Vitruveo, we need to prove that to you. We need to provide that marketing channel. So we feel that that's slightly more important than giving multiple edition capability right now. And that's why Elastic Edition is number 8 on our list of 10 enhancements coming up. So that's going to be very soon, though. Our dev team moves very, very fast. So I would expect maybe, I don't want to give dates because every time with software, it's hard to give dates, but just know that it's right there. Will the Art Vortex Challenge continue for creators? Absolutely, yes. So we kind of are behind on the schedule for that, obviously. So we need to get the form up so you can submit the entries and start the judging process, etc. So I will take that as a to-do on the Creator Challenge. That's part of that's sort of a crossover between art and Vortex, Mike. So we'll probably have to um,
Yeah.
share that. All right. So I think there's some other questions too, but we are about 2 hours in, and my family is waiting to take me out to lunch right now. So, with apologies to everyone whose questions we didn't answer here, maybe we bring it to Telegram or Discord, and we'll try and follow up.
Yeah, if
There.
there's anything that wasn't answered, just send it to me until we get all the community managers in place, and we'll take good care of you guys.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate all your kind words. I appreciate your support. It's been an amazing journey, and it's going to get even more amazing. Thank you, Mike. It's great to have you. You're Superman, and I'm just glad to have you. But
Thank you.
thanks, everyone. And I think that's it for today. We had a record 581 people on this stream. So
that's crazy. That's awesome.
have a great weekend. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Okay. Bye, guys.